Hello and welcome to episode 11. Episode 11 of A Few Good Mics.
I didn't think
Welcome
we'd
back.
make it this far.
I know it's a shock, but we keep going. Back with the usual suspects, Nate Wall and Mike Walter. How's it going, guys?
I'd like to thank my sponsor, General Swedish Snuts, provided me with some tobacco this weekend, so you're a good guy.
Mike with the classic red.
That kid doesn't own any other clothes in his damn closet.
I wore this shirt podcasting like 2 podcasts ago.
That's great. Cookie.
Fun fact.
And then I'm in the same outfit as last week, DeMar jersey,
Hey, I try to mix it up.
laying the Raptors season to rest.
Yeah, you wore that shirt yesterday.
I wear it every day, man. As long as you wear something else underneath, you're good.
Y'all dirty.
30.
All right, so we'll get started. Talk about Nate and Mike. You guys went to the Derby this weekend. How'd that go?
We got slightly overserved on Friday night. We had a few mint juleps on Saturday. And, we lost a bunch of money on some horses. Overall, it was a real fun experience, rain or shine, because that's what it was. It was raining for a while. We were dressed like idiots in ponchos. And then that sun came out and gave us a good race. But, I definitely recommend the Derby to any buffoon out there that, wants to, yell fucking just at horses for fucking 10 hours and cuss and swear when your horse doesn't win and throw shit at fucking people. I definitely recommend it. So I had a good time. I think Mike would say the same.
Yeah, so first time in Louisville, first time at the Derby. Incredible. Like the Derby, I've never been to a horse race. I've been dog races before, and they're cool and all, but like I've been to Packer games, Badger games, NHL games, NBA games, everything. And it's just really different. It's such a cool atmosphere, and it's so prestigious there. It's just something that is really indescribable. We could have planned a little bit better. Snuck some vodka in, would have been great. It was very expensive, but it was so cool. It was just the whole atmosphere was cool. I mean, where we were was essentially like a little bit less rowdy spring break down there. Like the area. I mean, it was crazy. People in front of us are playing beer pong. Everyone's smoking weed and drinking, and horses are rolling around, and everybody's gorgeous down there. Oh man, it was
just like me.
It was incredible. Honestly, it was definitely would love to go back. And there's it's just crazy. It was awesome. So cool. It's like one of the best sporting events, if not the best thing I've ever been to. Like I would go there over certain in an NFL game, perhaps. Like it was just that cool. It was awesome.
The only thing I noticed is that you guys were just extremely underdressed for that event.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I ain't Aaron Rodgers. I ain't Big Poppy. I'm an average Joe, and we had Mr. Hipster in front of us who was wearing a shirt that he claimed that somebody was murdered in. So, he was dressed in a Michael Jordan Bulls shirt. I mean, power to the guy. I mean, but we were underdressed, and I think even though the weather sucked, I mean, it was a good time, and I think
we were that underdressed.
We
weren't in the grandstands, but that's pretty much the attire everyone had down there. That was dudes.
We just didn't have suits. That's all.
I figured for the Derby, you guys might go all out instead of just a polo shirt.
We can't all be like Bert. Bert was dressed like a buffoon, so just don't be like Bert. I also, speaking of Bert, I had a horse that lost by a quarter of a head bob. I like the name Believe in Birdie, so I picked him to win, and it was a photo finish. I believe it was like race 6 or race 7, and my horse lost me money by a quarter of a head bob. Like if old boy would just cocked his head forward at the right freaking time, I would have had a couple more mint juleps in my system, and I probably could have spent a little more money. So that's my take.
Yeah, I mean, more preparation, and that would be amazing. I mean, it was amazing all around, but like, obviously, we're still young and like to get a bit sloppy. So you can bring like bottles of water in, and what we should have done was put vodka in some, and that way you can drink there all day, which would have been even better because drinks are very expensive there. It's like cash only, and it's $10 a beer.
$12 a minute.
Jeez.
Mind you,
we went to Miller Park for that price.
We are there from 10 a.m. until approximately 7. So if you want to get lit and keep it, you got to go in there with like a 0.4 or pay ungodly amounts of money.
Luckily, it was on the Few Good Mike's company now.
And you bring in Gatorade because you can bring both those in and your money.
Yeah, there you go. So that's what you got. That's a good. What do you guys know for next year, eh?
For next year.
All right. So we'll move on from the Derby to say this is probably the biggest news since we last recorded. Jay Cutler out of the NFL officially.
Hate it.
Signed a deal to be in a 3-team booth with Fox. Is this the last we've seen Jay Cutler in the NFL?
No. All right.
All right. Why?
No, actually, I think it is, but I don't want it to be. Jay is not good. He's an awful decision maker, but his body, like he has the physical ability to do this. Like he's strong, good, accurate. I think he's pretty accurate. Pretty accurate.
Yeah, when he throws to Charles Woodson.
Powerful. I mean, like he throws hard. Got a cannon on him. I think he's good. I just don't think he's ever. I don't know if it's a coaching issue or maybe he's just not. He's a poor decision maker. You can't deny that he's got the ability, and it's what's been said for years. But maybe it's like the right coach. Everybody's got to click, So I don't know. I mean, I just think there's better. Would you rather have Brock Osweiler or Jay Cutler?
Well, I'd rather have Jay Cutler, but that's because Brock Osweiler's that much worse.
Brian Hoyer or Jay Cutler?
For the money you'd have to spend, I might go with Hoyer.
Yeah.
Geno Smith? I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about winning games.
Hoyer's won more games than
Geno Smith or Jay
Cutler has recently.
Cutler. Geno's unproven.
Yeah.
Geno was on the uptick until he had his face broken.
There's about 10 quarterbacks on rosters, and you'd much rather have Jay Cutler on it. That's what I don't get. He can't be asked for that much money. Chicago paid him out the ass. Can't you imagine he needs the money anymore?
I
think there's no interest in him. I don't think there's any interest, and I think that's part of the reason why he went to Fox and why he'll stay there. You could say that I'd love to say he'd come back, but I don't think if no one's taking a chance on him now, why is somebody going to take a chance on him mid-season when they're desperate? I mean, I don't know. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely no interest because otherwise he'd obviously be on a team. Because
right,
hell, how many like Josh McCown? He's still got a contract this summer, but it just shows that perception is a reality. And obviously I don't have a form or anything, but I've been saying for years that Cutler has the worst body language of any like face of the franchise or quarterback that I've ever seen. And that people just don't want it rubbing off. It's that sort of perception on the guy. And that you've been saying, oh, he's got the arm talent. People have been saying that for 6-7 years now. Can't get it done.
I just don't think he's in the right system or coach.
I don't know.
I think
you can't have that much talent. You just do that poorly.
I think Jay Cutler should replace Joe Buck on Fox. That's my take. Because if I had to listen to Buck and Aikman for another freaking Packer game, I might have to stab myself in the heart.
Well, looks like you'll be doing that a couple times next year.
Yeah, I might be on the next year's worth of podcast, but we'll see.
But I think the move's official. I mean, unless a team like has like an injury and gets like super desperate,
Right. No, I hear you. That makes sense.
and that you got to think that's the only reason why he joined a 3-man booth, right? So if he ends up leaving, it doesn't basically cripple a broadcast.
Right, and like I said, that's totally what I want to happen. I want him to get another shot. I like Jay Cutler. No, he's not a good leader. Yes, he throws a lot of interceptions, but I don't know. I'd rather watch Jay Cutler than a Geno Smith. I'd rather watch Jay Cutler than Brian Hoyer, Brock Osweiler. If I had a list of NFL quarterbacks, I could probably list like 12 more.
I don't know. I'm gonna miss seeing him throw interceptions to the Packers. So
that's okay. That's Stravinsky's new job. So
no, Mike Glennon's new job.
We'll see.
Well, it'll be Trubinsky, or it'll be Glennon first, and then Trubinsky will follow.
Start, yeah, eventually.
Well,
you also got to say this: Bears receivers compared to the Packers, compared to anyone else. Brand Marshall was good. Alshon was good. But can you name another good? Martellus Bennett was good.
He had all those 3 guys at the same time and couldn't do jack with them.
Exactly. Can you name another good receiver that has come out of Chicago that has been like this stellar productive? I mean, you got to think of it. I mean, what if
okay, so when Brandon Marshall come out, what did he do? He didn't do shit with the Jets.
Yeah, it's because Brandon Marshall's always been an average.
You'll see Alshon Jeffrey. I bet Alshon Jeffrey's having an average year. He's not going to blow up for like a bajillion yards.
No, but he's with you next to Aaron Rodgers. You didn't know that?
Oh, shoot. That's right. Carson Wentz.
Yeah, figure it out. Get your facts right, buddy.
Facts are right. He's going to have an average season. Carson Wentz is not good, period.
Carson Wentz is the future of the NFL. You better watch yourself.
And yes, Martellus Bennett did great things.
We'll be having this conversation in 10 years.
Patriots, so yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure like Richard Rodgers could go to the Patriots and blow up for like 20 touchdowns. It's just the way they play, the system. Not saying Martellus Bennett is bad, but I'm saying that like you're saying he had all this talent, which yeah, he had decent talent, but like that talent left and didn't do anything after.
Oh, you can't forget he had Matt Forte as his running back.
And didn't Matt Forte play somewhere after Chicago?
Young Jets.
Yeah, and what did he do? Nothing. It's
Jets also have
these people left and were extremely productive and good. I'd be like, yeah, no, you got a valid point. But being that they haven't done a damn thing since every single one of them left Chicago, outside of Martellus Bennett, in a rare circumstance when he was with the Patriots, backing up Gronkowski with Tom Brady in a Bill Belichick offense, they haven't done anything. So it's hard for me to say that to blame all this talent that he had when it's really been proven to be nothing.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, you have your 3 guys that we rattled off, but I just don't. Think about it. They've had 3 guys. How many great receivers have we had? Even like think of a guy like Megatron. I would say Megatron is probably better than 5 good receivers on the Bears. Like just Megatron.
Is better than 5 wide receivers. I don't even get what you're saying.
He's loaded with
real bold there. I'm saying a future Hall of Famer is better than the Bears guys.
He's a future Hall of Famer. I'm not discrediting the guy, but that's what I'm saying. It's like he was so productive with the Lions. He was their main man. Lions haven't really had anyone else. And luckily, with his size, he always was able to, dominate small corners because he's running 6'5", 6'6", 240, I want to say. It's just you see the production and the talent there that he had, and it's like Bears have never had a guy like that that's played. And you think about it too, how many lifelong wide receivers that the Bears have? Can anyone think of a guy that was super productive and played 10, 12 years in the NFL just for the Bears? That's the problem. The whole the general
super good. Played 10, 12 years wide receiver for the Ravens.
General manager in Chicago has done absolutely nothing to get them a franchise guy. Alshon was not a franchise guy. He's good. Marshall's good, but they're not franchise guys. Jordy Nelson is a franchise.
You're telling me Alshon Jeffrey's not a franchise wide receiver?
He's a good wide receiver. He's not a franchise wide receiver.
Who the hell's a franchise wide receiver then?
I just said Jordy. Jordy's a franchise wide receiver. Randy Moss is a franchise wide receiver. Calvin Johnson is a franchise wide receiver.
Jordy Nelson is a franchise quarterback, but Alshon Jeffrey isn't.
I still have no idea where you're trying to go with this.
I'm just saying they've never had a true franchise guy. Alshon is not a franchise guy.
Dude,
so I'm going to take this over and mute everyone else.
There you go. Go for it. It's all you.
You literally just said, now don't butt in when I say this because you're gonna. You literally just said you didn't think Jay was any good because he had all this talent. And now what you're telling me is that none of the receivers he had were franchise quarterbacks and there is no talent.
No,
in a matter of 5 minutes.
Good wide receivers, not franchise wide receivers.
So why did you bring that up? So you're saying you're back in my point where he didn't necessarily have the talent that you think he had?
The last 20 years, think of it. I only came up with 3 wide receivers that I thought were good for the Bears. Think about it. We could rattle off 50 good wide receivers for Green Bay. We could rattle off 20 good wide receivers from Dallas.
I'm super confused right now. To be honest, I just don't know where this.
That's what I'm saying. Why are you talking about wideouts? Because you don't think Cutler had talent around him? I thought that's where we were on Cutler. I don't.
Because I thought Cutler, the reason why that no one wants him is because he couldn't. He had the talent. He had Forte in his prime, Marshall in his prime. Jeffrey's still really good, especially with a Brandon Marshall in his prime, and he couldn't do anything. And then combine that with his lack of leadership and the body language, and teams just don't want that in the locker room. That's why he's not. It's why he's at Fox right now.
But could you not argue that? And yes, I don't know what the hell Nate was talking about, but could you not argue that the same case could be made when Brandon Marshall was with the Jets because he had Decker there too?
And he had a good first year, and then he made
decent but not great, same as he's always had.
And he helped Ryan Fitzpatrick make the biggest contract he's ever had. So I mean, even that 1 year, he's going to help out the Giants. So I mean, he's still productive. He's still good.
He's going to be on the Giants roster.
Don't use the word help. He's not going to do shit for the Giants.
Agreed. But, Nate, you were all over the board, man. I don't know. 1 second you're here, the next second you're not there, and you're charging the other way. You lost me.
But either way, Carson Wentz is the next Aaron Rodgers that we have settled as
that's all. As long as I can make that point loud and clear, we're good. Next topic.
Gosh, that is the most absurd thing I've heard. I hate when we talk about that, honestly.
All right. Then we'll stop talking about that then.
I'm right.
You're not right. Here's what it is. I know you, Nate, and I know that you only like Carson Wentz because he went to a small-time school. You would not give 2 shits about Carson Wentz if he came out.
What's wrong with that? Maybe I think guys at small schools need to.
Yes, that's exactly it. But you can't take that and run with it
for people to know them. He had to work twice as hard to get his name out there than anybody from the SEC.
So that is why he is the next Aaron Rodgers, because he's twice as hard at working there.
No, but at the same time, Carson Wentz is going to be the future. So
Based on what?
based on I don't got anything, man. You guys are fucking idiots. You guys can't read a damn book and see a highlight film of how freaking productive he's been, even in a little time with Philly.
I mean, I'll give it to you. He's been good, not insane, not like there's nothing to indicate to me he's
how good
Rodgers.
As good as Rodgers was when he first started.
I get that, but I'm saying like
I think he was actually better than Rodgers was in his first year. I'm pretty sure Rodgers was 4-12 in his first year. Eagles are what, 7-9? That's already better than Rodgers.
there is absolutely no way he becomes in the same remote vicinity as Aaron Rodgers.
Vicinity. That's the key word.
Yeah, he won't.
Same vicinity. Not same player, same vicinity.
He will be like at his best, similar to a Russell Wilson. Not in quarterback style, but in greatness.
So is that like considered bad? Are you saying Russell Wilson?
I never said that. I just don't think that he's going to be an extremely elite, accurate, insane.
So are you saying
lifetime quarterback like
Russell Wilson is like, if you're talking numbers right now, top 10, where's Russell Wilson on that board?
Like playing right now?
How far is he behind Rodgers?
Playing right now or like history? What are you talking about?
Right now.
And are we talking like just to win a game or like going to go down in the books or what are you?
Go down the books.
Go down in the books. Playing
that's
right now.
What I'm talking about. I'm talking long term.
Where is Russell Wilson going to go down in the books?
Where's Russell Wilson compared to Aaron Rodgers? You tell me that.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is probably 2 right now behind Tom Brady playing.
I agree.
Say
Wilson's in
3 Russell Wilson is probably
4, 3,
5 or 6.
Who would you put over him?
Well, one personally, I'd put Drew Brees over him. Now,
yeah.
Well, you said going to go down in the books. I think that Cam Newton will eventually go down in the books better than Russell Wilson. That's 2.
Who was that one? I didn't hear you.
Huh?
Who did you just say?
Cam Newton.
No. Not yet.
You said going to go down in the books. I didn't know the book was going down right now.
Cam Newton, are you kidding me? He's maybe 8 or 9.
Right now, quarterbacks that will go down in the books, best to worst. I think when it's all said and done, of the quarterbacks playing right now, Cam Newton will go down as a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. Along with Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady, and possibly Ben Roethlisberger.
See, I would put Roethlisberger in that caliber, but at the same time,
Eli Manning as well. So that bumps Russell Wilson down to 6.
No.
Yeah, discredit Eli Manning's Super Bowls and everything he's done.
Oh, excuse me. I'm not going on Super Bowls, kid.
We're going down in the books.
Part of all time down in the
books for.
We're going down in the books. We're talking passing yards, talking passing percentage.
And most importantly, it's going to be Super Bowls.
That's great. He's still one of the worst to win Super Bowls. One of. Didn't say the worst. One of.
To win Super Bowls, right. He's one of the worst quarterbacks to win Super Bowls, plural. You're going to tell me that he's no good and he's won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah. No, he's
not.
Oh, my God. He's not great. He's not great.
He's not like elite anymore, but we're talking about going to go down as.
Do you remember how good that fucking Giants defense was back then?
Sure. Do you know how good that Patriots team was then?
Super Bowls.
Would you like to chime in at all about Eli Manning not being good at all ever?
Eli Manning, he's gonna like it or not. Those 2 Super Bowls are gonna get him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and he beat
So you're saying one of the worst. So
yes, one of the worst. But think about it.
You realize how asinine what you're saying is. One of the
You're
worst
realizing that
you'd rather have Trent Dilfer.
Super Bowls.
We're talking 2 of the worst is him and Terry Bradshaw are 2 of the worst quarterbacks to ever win a Super Bowl or Super Bowls. People don't realize Bradshaw was terrible. He wasn't that good. Pittsburgh's always had a super defense. That's why Bradshaw didn't really have to do all that much, but toss a few balls every now and then.
Oh, just to let you guys know, I compared I was able to compare Carson Wentz his rookie season to Aaron Rodgers in his first full season starting. 16 games. Aaron Rodgers had 4,038 yards, 28 touchdowns to 13 picks. Carson Wentz, 33,782 yards, 16 touchdowns.
000? Exactly.
3,782 yards, 16 touchdowns to 14 interceptions.
Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers blew him out.
Record though.
On more
record.
Less yards, less touchdowns.
4-12. Packers at their
completions and attempts. He also had a lower completion percentage than Rodgers.
Lower, like I said.
So, essentially, he was worse at every stat by a long shot.
Not a long shot. You're comparing 4,000 passing yards, 3,700. That's like one game.
I'm comparing, and I'm also comparing 28 to 13 to 16 to 14 touchdown.
Thank you. Because to me, that's a big deal. I don't know about you, Nate. Touchdowns aren't that important, are they? Neither are Super Bowls, though, because you can win multiple and not be good. So
that's how it works.
All right, we'll move on to let Nate.
Nate check his facts before he spews out garbage.
All right, let's do some stuff out. You've been tweeting a lot about Lonzo and his shoe game. LaVar Ball mostly. $495 for a brand new pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Floor is yours, my friend.
Well, when he said it, I was on a Twitter rampage on LaVar Ball's new brand. $495 shoes. I would rather have a $9 pair of Starberries from Stephen Barry's than his shoes. Here's why. Who in the hell in their right mind has 500? I agree. I don't know if you guys all saw this tweet from Golden Tate the other day. If I'm going to pay $495 for a pair of shoes, I better be like Bow Wow and like Mike and be able to fucking fly and dunk every single play. That's how I feel. If you're going to spend $500 on a pair of shoes, honestly, I don't know who the hell designed those shoes, but I think they were drunk. I think the shoes, 1, look like shit. 2, $220 for his sandals. Do you realize I used to think $50 Jordan sandals were expensive, so I could buy 4 pairs of Jordan sandals for 1 pair of LaVar Ball's precious sandals. Like, what? Who the hell has 200? Except these ghetto hoop stars from Harlem, New York. I mean, nobody else has freaking money to buy this shit. Or I don't see it, man. I don't see a market for it. I don't think they'll probably do. They'll make the only perk on their side is everything that they bring to the table, money wise, is more. So, I mean, if you buy $100 Jordans and compare it to $500 of his shoes, I mean, they can sell less shoes and make more money. But at the same time, the amount of shoes sold is going to be. I'm curious to see what they do in their first month.
Okay, yeah, I think Big Baller Brand 1, I think that's stupid. That just doesn't even sound cool. I mean, like, no one else really has that. I mean, I think, like, like Jordans are Jordans, and Braun's got his own shoe, but nothing's like they don't have like their own company called like Big Baller Brand. I don't know. I think it's stupid. Like I saw a tweet that had said, I don't really want. It was like it was somebody, one of you guys tweeted it. It was something along the lines like, I really don't want to be seen with a guy that pays $500 for shoes called Big Baller Brand.
I retweeted that. Shout out to Christine Leahy.
Like, and that's serious though. I mean, like it sounds like something a high schooler would wear. Big ball. Yeah, I got my Big Baller flip-flops on.
We got big ballers on today. I'm about to play hard, boys.
I think it's a stupid name. I mean, like anyone can wear Jordans and pull them off and be stylish. I mean, if you're wearing a shoe that's called the Big Baller Brand shoe,
they're just gonna think you're
not going to get. To me, you're not going to market to anyone over 30. Anyone over 30 wants to be in the Big Baller shoes. It's just weird.
And you're not going to market to women ever.
No, not ever. Maybe a couple basketball player females, but that's it. And here's the thing. I hate LaVar Ball. I think he's just annoying. But he's, you know how much publicity he's got from doing that? Like,
dude, he's making so much off free publicity right now.
Right. And everyone's talking about these shoes and raving about these shoes. And in one sense, I do think he's kind of going on a whim and kind of could potentially be bad, but like, it's really cool that he's kind of like fighting the man, like fighting the titans of shoes.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'll give him credit for. Like, if they pull this off, like coming out of nowhere and just, I'm gonna make my own brand.
Because like, you know, like,
change the game that way. But
a million times more. They're gonna profit a million times more than, you know, if he signs with Nike. I mean, if it goes through and his shoes actually get popular and he's good and sells similar to what he would sell with Nike, it's going to profit like he gets all that then, which is a fraction of what he would have got with Nike or anyone else. And I think that's cool. He's kind of going on his whim and doing his own thing. But he went about it all the wrong way, in my opinion. You don't charge $500 for a shoe for a player that's not even like potentially like. Look at, let's say Andrew Wiggins does this, and it's Big Baller Brand, and realistically, you can like Andrew Wiggins or not. I don't care. I follow basketball about as much as the average fan, and I haven't heard Andrew Wiggins' name in over probably 6 months. So let's say he did that, which is far more promising than Lonzo Ball coming out of UCLA, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but like, why the fuck would I want to wear his shoes? You know what I'm saying? It's like this guy could totally flop, or just even like Andrew Wiggins, like I said, he's probably doing decent up there. I don't know, but he's nothing special, nothing crazy. Nobody's ranting and raving about Andrew Wiggins right now or the past 6 months. So like you're going to charge $500 for a shoe for some guy that's not even could potentially not do anything.
And it's like you do that. You charge, let's say, half that for the first shoe. Then if he like blows up in the NBA, like he ends up being a top 2 pick, ends up blowing up.
Some new stuff.
Then you charge that for the second shoe or the third shoe.
And I disagree with Nate. I think the shoe is cool looking. Granted, I wouldn't wear it myself, but and then I love flip flops, and I have 2 pairs of Jordan flip flops, and I think $50 is a lot for flip flops. But you know what? They're cool. They're Jays, and they're comfy, and you just wear them. I'll pay it. I would never pay $220 for flip flops, especially when you can get Gucci flip flops, or was it like 200?
Yeah, it's like $40 more than Gucci flip flops.
Stupid! You're just stupid. And you'll see a couple of pro athletes, like I saw Arian Foster got some, and Chad Johnson. But Chad Johnson's like
Michael Bennett, I saw too.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, you know, I totally respect it, going on your own and fighting the man in the Titans industry. That's awesome. Go ahead. But I just think, yeah, I mean, I think the prices are off, and personally, I think the name is stupid. But
yeah,
what I think with, you know, Lonzo being so fresh out of college, I mean, it's not. I mean, I get it marketing wise. Yeah, he's holding his own. I mean, he's going off on a limb. He's saying, well, you know, we can, you know, screw Nike, screw Adidas, screw Under Armour. We can make our own brand, profit our own stuff, and not have them take a cut of whatever they need. You know, it's just one of those things to go off on a limb. Yeah, like Mike said, I mean, prices are just way too high. It is criminal. I remember hearing those furniture ads. Price is so low, it's almost criminal. This price is too high, so it's almost criminal. I just don't. I mean, who? Here's the thing: LaVar Ball is what? Or excuse me, Lonzo Ball is what? 21 years old. I mean, his dad is making more of a splash about these shoes than he is. So that's your first problem. Second, it's like, what if he absolutely blows ass in the NBA, averages 5 points a game?
Or not even, though. Or not even. Just is Andrew Wiggins right now.
Yeah. Even if he averages like 20 points a game. I mean, honestly, what if he goes to a team that's not a big market, like say 76ers or like Sacramento, or like if he doesn't end up in like New York or LA or Miami or Chicago, I feel like that's going to hurt his brand because you're not in a big market. What if he ends up on the Bucks? Like,
hey, he'd do fine on the Bucks.
I'm sure he would, but I'm just saying I don't. I mean, even if he ends up
on the Bucks, I'm buying big baller shoes. Is all I'm saying.
We'll probably have big baller shoes for the whole team.
So I'll pay $400 for like 5 pairs of different shoes. Then.
Hey, think about it. These guys in the NBA, they probably have 3-4 pairs of whatever shoe brand they represent. So I mean, think about it. What if you're just an average Joe? You're like a undrafted NBA guy. You make a roster, whatever. And you need to buy your 4 or 5 pairs of shoes. Are you going to spend, if you're making the league minimum like $350,000 or whatever it is? Are you going to want to spend $2,000 just to have 5 pairs of his shoes? I don't think I would if I was making the league minimum.
Do NBA basketball players have to buy their own shoes?
I don't know. It probably depends on the player. It depends if you got an endorsement deal with Nike, Adidas, or what have you.
Doubt it, but I just think that, like I said, is Andrew Wiggins, when he was in college, 1 year, was he was supposed to be hyped and was very, very hyped and still is, but was he not supposed to be better than, say, Lonzo Ball coming out? Like, if they were both in the same class, who gets drafted first?
Wiggins.
Yeah, I'd say Wiggins.
I would say Wiggins too. And I think that's not as close as you guys made it seem with the pauses there. But that's my point is, and I know you're a huge Wiggins fan because of Canada and whatever, but I just think that, like, I don't know. Maybe he has been doing great things. Like, I'm an average basketball fan, not anything crazy. I haven't heard anything about him. So, like, my point is, like, who's going to buy these? Like, I wouldn't buy Andrew Wiggins shoes because he's not even really relevant, frankly. So why the hell would anyone want to buy Lonzo Ball's shoes?
Well, like, he's relevant in like the NBA world, but it's based like for the fans like you, the common fan, the casual fan, you got to wait till you don't really do anything until your team gets good. You can say that about anybody.
And I get that. I'm not faulting him for that. All I'm saying is, in the sense of Lonzo Ball, he's also not going to the Cavs. He's
I was just about to say that's the same problem that Lonzo's going to face.
And he's going to be on.
Doesn't do anything. Neither will his brand or anything like that.
Yeah.
Especially if he goes to a small market team, like I said.
And if you want that, you want to blossom into something and have your own shoe and everything, great. Fight the titans of industry, but do it with a reputable price where you don't just come off as like an idiot. Granted, with the prices you did, you're getting a lot of advertisements and shit because people think you're stupid. And everyone's talking about it, but are you actually getting sales out of that? I'm sure you will for a bit here. And then but look at America, like there's a 1% and then there's like 99%. And how many of the 99%ers are going to blow $500 on a pair of unknown, most likely not going to be good for at least 3 years basketball players' shoes? I'm sure as hell not. I wouldn't even pay $100 for his shoes.
No.
Yep.
It's asinine.
Yeah. It definitely is. And I think keeping the price tag as high as it is not going to help them. I mean,
no, sure. You're going to sell to Martellus Bennett and people, a couple famous people that are going to try to help you out because you're young and probably support your cause. Like Chad Johnson was always kind of a fly by the seat of his pants guy, do whatever the hell he wanted, act a fool, freak show. So yeah, he's going to support something like Alonzo Ball, freak show.
He's probably thinking, why didn't he do it first?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you'll get a couple of those, but you know what? You know where your big money is going to come from is majority of people, and that's not Chad Johnson. You'll get like probably a tiny amount of sales from these people that are going to support you. But if you want real money, you got to hit all markets.
Yeah, but how is he going to get the people like us to buy his shoe?
He's not, because one, he's not going to be good, at least not for years, or relevant enough in the NBA to want me to buy his shoes. And there's no way in hell I'd pay over $100 for his shoes.
There you go. I think we hit it. That's a pretty slow work week. Why don't we dive into the 2 minutes? Who wants to go first?
Mike, go.
So I went to the Derby this weekend. Had a great time, stayed at Nate's place, and took a dump in his toilet.
Left me a present.
It didn't work. It wouldn't flush. So I just left it, and then we left the next morning. So I gave him a little gift. It was hilarious. It was so funny. Probably the most savage thing I've ever done. I fully intend on doing it again next year.
All right. Nate, how about you? What have you seen the last week?
Well, I mean, I've seen belligerent people that hop into cars that they're not supposed to. Riding in style in the Hummer, and then you got to pay the cabbie when you thought you were in an Uber, and you got to use your salesmanship in that situation. You got to be like, yeah, man, we'll take a ride with you tomorrow. But I mean, we got out safe and not sorry. I didn't get a gun pointed to my head for not paying, and made a successful Derby weekend. Even though President Mike left, my toilet wasn't real pleasant. Overall, I mean, good Derby weekend. We kind of were a bunch of savages last night. Ate too much Domino's and kind of passed the hell out. So, but good weekend.
And there you go. And then I'll keep mine semi-sports related, I guess. Give a big shout out to Cardale Jones, the man who once said, "We ain't come here to play school." Went back to Ohio State, got his degree this weekend. So props to him. Always cool seeing guys go back to school and get their degree.
Yeah, didn't Clinton Dix just do that too?
That's right. Just took his last test.
Shout out to Clinton Dix for being a leader and of that defense, taking the young guys out for dinner and like just welcoming them. And I think that's how cool stuff like Legion of Boom has started, with bonding and kind of off the field stuff that really brings them together. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, haha, Clinton Dix, an all-pro on and off the field.
Yeah, guys, the man. I'll go get my jersey if you want me to.
He also got a parking ticket last time he was in Tuscaloosa.
So the Savage parks where he wants. At least he's getting a degree and being a good human.
And it's not like he's actually going to have to pay that ticket. Come on, let's be real here.
I don't know. I don't think Nick Saban was going to pick up the tab for that one.
Well, he wouldn't get a violation if he didn't.
It's true. That is true.
All right, so that about does it for episode 11. We're crazy. We're into double digits now. So today you've learned about Jay Cutler and how pretty good. Have out Carson Wentz, the next Aaron Rodgers. Learned how to improvise when you can't pay a cab. And I'm sure we'll have more insightful info next week.
Briefly, how to improvise on the cab. The best strategy is to just get out of the cab and run.
Yeah. Just ditch. Just go. Don't even bother.
That's what I did. You leave your bros hanging. Hope that they could get out of it.
I did.
Yeah, so as always, make sure to follow us on Twitter. Tweet at us what you want to hear, what you don't want to hear. Subscribe on iTunes, on YouTube. All that good stuff. Links will be in the description. Watch out for next week.